Chapter 4, Fear of the Unknown. Kino Amark. I walked to the trading market, carrying a basket full of wild berries. Instead of running swiftly like the other boys in Akea, I could only run a few hundred yards before exhaustion bogs me down. Unlike everyone, I have no power, which resonates within me every waking moment. I have become the subject of my classmates' taunts. They call me names like unborn or free-farer, and while I tried my best to ignore them, the tags stung me deeply. When I was younger, I paid them no mind because I had other things to occupy my time. My mother, Lamare, would spend her entire day with me while she wrote on scrolls she brought to the emperor's palace. Every time she finished, she would teach me how to read and write and take me to the fields where she would tell amusing stories about invisible people. She would also teach me how to climb trees. On other occasions, we would spend the entire afternoon swimming in brooks. But that time has long passed. I have grown envious of the other boys my age who would not have difficulty carrying a basket full of their farm's produce to wherever they want. When a cloud of dust would suddenly appear by my side because a younger boy ran past me, my heart would twist, leaving a gash of hurt that not even my mother's warm embrace could cure. My mother told me that my ability would manifest when I got older, but it never came. Children younger than I am would display powers all around me. At 12 moon turns, I should have been blessed with power already. We even have a class in school to prepare us for presenting our abilities to the emperor and the palace. It annoys me because I cannot relate to the professor's lecture. On the other hand, my classmates hang on to the professor's every word. They are wrapped in excitement over the turning of the moons because they know that in time, the event would culminate in the declaration of their citizenship, the right to be called an Akeen. All they had to do was present their power or special abilities to the emperor. Once the bookkeeper wrote down their names in the Akeen books of citizens, they would genuinely become Akeens. I have decided that I would not go to the palace again to join the Akeen Wine Festival, the celebration of the moon's full turning, the same event where citizens gather in Canellan Palace for week-long merriment. My classmate Randall can read a book with its cover closed. It is as if his eyes can drill through the pages of the book. Nicola, my neighbor, can plant a seed, tend it, and make a shoot sprout in seconds. Dorothy can find water during a drought. And my other classmates have so many amazing abilities to present. But as for me, I have nothing. Without any power, it looks as if the only time I will ever set foot in the palace again would be to deliver crops to the kitchens. It is never easy, especially since my mother told me that I am the former emperor's grandson. I believe everything mother tells me, except for that one detail. If I were who she said I was, why were we not living in the palace, like royalty was supposed to? And why have other citizens not regarded us as such? My mother tries so hard to make me feel better. Sometimes she even lies. But regardless, I listen to her stories because they take me to a different place in Akea every time, one where my mother and I fared better than we do now. Sometimes when you have nothing of much value, dreams are all that are left. I counted the wild berries in my basket before handing them to the dark-skinned man who looked old enough to be my grandfather. Beads of sweat covered his forehead. The old man put 25 coins on my palm. "Here you go, boy," he said. I looked at the coins, surprised but grateful. They were enough to buy us bread for 2 days. "Thank you," I said. I walked away before any of my classmates spotted me lingering in the market. I disliked it when they flaunted their skills around. It made the unborn tag stick to me even more, like a fruit fly prancing around a rotten berry. And to make matters worse, my mother's power is unable to fend off the bullies who chase me or make the ground rumble underneath them, or even make her words loud enough so that she could shout at all of them. I walked faster, hiding behind the large boxes of garments and crates of fruits and vegetables in the market scattered along the path. I was only a few more yards before I would be out of the market and back at glades that led to the forest that led to my home. Reaching the clearing, I came upon 2 gigantic trees, twin giants, we called them. These trees were about 200 meters tall and never shed leaves, even during fall. The wind was blowing briskly by now, but even the strong gust did not make a single leaf fall. The twin giants flanked the entrance to the forest that led to Wawang, my village. They were so huge that not even a dozen grown men holding each other's hands could fully wrap their arms around each tree. Because the twin giants were easy to spot, they served as the villagers' landmark to the trading market. I broke into a sprint, avoiding the paved roads so that the sound of my shoes on the pavement did not draw any attention. I breathed a sigh of relief as soon as I found myself standing underneath the shade that the twin giants offered. "There he is," someone shouted behind me. "I told you, today's the day he sells his puny produce in the trading market, or else they won't have anything to buy food with," another one said. Raucous laughter followed suit. The voices belonged to Conrad Eros and Lima Gotti, the boys who have bullied me for as long as I can remember. I ran as quickly as I could, even though I knew the effort was futile. In a few seconds, they would be able to catch up with me. I was straining my ears, listening for their footsteps, but surprisingly, my lone strides were all I heard. Suddenly, the land trembled and erupted exactly where I was about to step. I fell flat on my face. That was new. I did not know that one of them could do that. I stood up with bent knees and feet spread apart, ready to fight Conrad and Lima. My face flushed from anger, especially when I tasted something wet in the corner of my mouth, blood. Dust covered the front of my shirt, and the coins were scattered all around me. Conrad and Lima were beside me in a few seconds. "That's nice, Lima," Conrad said. "I told you I'd show you something new," Lima said, grinning wickedly. I was waiting for the punch to hit my stomach, eager to block it with a counterpunch, but none came. "No need to grimace, Kino. Call it a day," Lima said as he started walking away, chuckling. Then he turned to Conrad, and they left together, leaving me standing, staring at their figures fading into the clearing. "One day, I will show them." I wiped the blood from my mouth and took extra care not to spill any on my shirt. I did not want my mother to worry. I looked at my shirt and shook off the dust. The coins glistened under the sun, making it easier for me to spot them. When I counted them, to my dismay, I only found 18. I moved over to the bushes and found 2 more. With only 5 coins missing, I decided to head home. I caught a glimpse of a familiar set of footprints on the ground, smaller than mine, with no specific markings on the soles. These footsteps could belong to the ghosts of Nivedon. There are stories about Nivedon apart from those that Mother told me about. Her stories terrified me. Oddly though, I kept seeing the same set of footsteps wherever I went, and it spooked me out. I never told Mother about it because she would worry. I had no special ability, and if ever a ghost should appear in front of me, the best I could do was run. That or cry shamelessly and beg that the ghost will not hurt me.